What's up guys, Max here and welcome back to the channel. Lately I've been a bit busy doing some extreme overclocking competition, but now it's time to go back to the usual stuff, especially World of Warcraft benchmarking. Today I have here for you the GTX 1650, and this is part of a bigger project, so I'm gonna try to release a GPU video every week and then to do a summary of every GPU that I've tested. So let's get started. In this first video you will see this GPU compared with the AMD RX570, which is more or less at the same price, and week by week you will see the chart increasing with all the GPU that I'm going to test. Let's go briefly through the detail of this card and then I can start showing the charts. The card I have here today is an MSI Ventus XS. As you can see, it's small, dual slot and usual connection, HDMI, DisplayPort and DVI. Is a dual fan. You will see the noise and temperature in the charts later. And there's a thing that is worth mentioning is since that this card is less than 75 watts TDP, it doesn't need any additional power connection. So you can plug it straight away in your build. And this can be good if you have an old PC or something that doesn't have the additional power connection. You can just plug it and play. The system that I used for all the tests you will see in this video is a Core i9 9900K overclocked to 5.2 GHz with a memory overclocked at 4600 MHz C18 with tight subtimings. I don't like being bottlenecked by the CPU. But now let's start with seeing some actual FPS number and charts. Let's start with the classic rifle run. From the bottom south of Cool Tiras, flying over Boralus, to the northern point. That is useful to understand more or less the experience roaming around to the open world and for questing. At quality 10 we can play around 60 FPS. Some FPS drop in the 40 zone, but no big deal. If you're focused on the game and you don't have the FPS counter on, you probably don't even notice. And again, remember that if you are playing on a 1080p 60Hz display, you don't need much more than this. At quality 7 we have a similar difference between the two. This quality level, or better, a custom profile, will be more appropriate if you have a high refresh monitor and you don't mind lowering a bit the details to obtain an average of more than 100 FPS, with more than 80 FPS of 1% low. In dungeons, you don't need much GPU power to run at quality 10 with decent FPS. The 1650 can do an average around 80 with the 1% lows in the mid-40s, and you won't perceive any freeze even during big fights. Again, if you have a high refresh monitor, you may need to scale a bit down the graphics quality to 7 or a custom-made profile. Finally, the ride performance. With the 1% lows above 40 FPS, you won't experience any freeze or situation where you can't play properly, and the difference between the two cards is less perceivable. Same for quality 7. Now we have a more steady situation with the 1% lows around the 60 FPS, with averages that are above 80. Interesting that the RX570 at stock frequency is now behind, but with a notable performance when overclocked. Regarding the overclock, well, even doing a very good job at testing, a card that operates beyond factory speed may give you crashes, especially when you are doing something important. I played with both cards overclocked for hours and hours without an issue, but my advice is to leave it as stock and play with the graphics setting instead to find the performance you want. Probably you are thinking that the 1650 doesn't really shine against the RX570. True, but there is an aspect that may rebalance the final verdict, since if we take a look at the noise level, I found that this card operates really cool. The fan at idle being at 40%, with a noise level of 35.7 dBA, and under load it stays at 40%, even after hours of gaming, with the GPU constantly at 100%. Reaching a maximum of 54 degrees. Definitely not bad. For your reference, 35.7 dBA means that you won't be able to hear it even in a quiet room, and most likely it will be your CPU cooler that will generate more noise than this. In conclusion, I can't say this is a bad card, because it actually do the job. It's cool, it's quiet and it's small. You can fit it into an ITX chassis without the risk of hitting all the other components. The problem is the price point, since the RX570 give you more performance for less money. And now I'm really eager to see the super version, but well, we will see what are the numbers when I will benchmark the card. Alright, as always, if you have any question, you can write a comment in the section down below. I'll try to read and answer to everybody. Or you are more than welcome to join us in my Discord server. We are a lot of World of Warcraft player and tech enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you like it, and see you in the next one.